All right. Hey, music producers and sound designers, welcome back to the stream. So today we're going to be building out another sound in Reactor, in Ableton and Reactor. Um, Hopefully you're going to enjoy this session because we're going to be building out another sound, and that sound is going to be a bass. So we're going to design a bass sound in Reactor. So let's jump right into it. So I'm going to walk you through building out a West Coast style influenced bass synth. So this is going to be from scratch with Reactor blocks, and it's inspired by the Make Noise series that I've started, and it's inspired by the Zero Coast. So let's get right into it. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to open up my version of Reactor here, and we're going to have a note in connection. That's the first module we're going to need, because it's going to take MIDI signals from my keyboard and it's going to send them into the computer so that we can make some noise. No pun intended there. But anyways, we're going to continue, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a clock. I'm going to need that to help me with timing. So I'm going to go into my blocks collection. Hopefully you can see this and it's big enough for you. So it's going to be right there. Bring in a clock for timing. I'm going to need another few components. I'm just going to pull up my components quickly, and then we're going to start building. So I got that. I know I want this wave folder, and yeah, so I know what that wave folder, and the next thing I'm going to add in is next thing I'm going to need is a filter, and I'm going to need a VCA, and optionally I think I can add in a mix for if I want to layer some stereo sounds, I would bring that in, but I'm going to leave it out for now, and we're just going to keep building. So again, today, welcome back to the stream. We're going to be building out a gritty West Coast style bass in a few minutes in Reactor using blocks only, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So now we're going to connect up our oscillator. So we actually forgot to bring an oscillator. That's the first thing I need. So I need an oscillator here. Gonna bring that in. Gonna bring that through our filter, and then I'm gonna send that out. Okay. Gonna bring down the volume, and should be getting some sound. Hopefully you should be hearing that now. Just a basic waveform. So from there, we are going to bring in some envelope control so that I can trigger notes. So that's great. I can now trigger notes. I'm going to pick a key. So I'm going to pick, let's do A minor. So in the key of A minor, we have a few notes. That's gonna be. Let's just test out our. Yeah, it's working. We're good. Turn that down just slightly so that our volume's not too loud. So in the key of A minor, we have a few notes that look like. So we start off with an A, of course. And that was starting from an A. Actually, that's starting from a G. Yeah, A. That's our A minor key. So A minor. So I'm going to turn off that piano for a second, and we actually go back to our reactor sound, our sound design, and okay, so it's definitely working. And now I'm going to add in our folder, our wave folder. I'm going to fold the sound slightly. And we can visualize that waveform so you can see what's happening. So as I fold that waveform, I'm going to bring it up here so you can see. You can see it's getting little folds in the waveform. We're starting off with a sine wave, by the way, and I'm folding the waveform over time, just crunching it in on itself. And that's just moving it from the positive to negative side of the slope. So that's that. I'm liking that sound so far. And I'm going to add in some movement. But I'm hearing something in the background. There we go. Should be no noise when I'm not playing. I'm going to bring in an LFO in the filter. I'm going to find my filter. There it is. And we're going to create some modulation. So it's not doing the desired effect I wanted it to do. So I'm just going to dial this back. Let me just make sure it's working correctly. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to continue with the build, and I'm going to build out this bass sound. So we want to now, let's see. So we got our basic patch here, got our oscillator, got our filter, got our envelope, wavefold, VCA, and an envelope. And now I want to maybe add a sample and hold. That'll help us to add some movement. So let's bring that in to our chain. Oh, let's get the import in. Hey, what happened to my sound? Okay, there we go. Okay, so I want to modulate the actual oscillator. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm going to send this pattern through sequencer, and we're going to see what we can come up with. We just see how we're doing for time. So, okay, looks good. And I'm going to send these out. That's the wrong thing. It's actually this, sample and hold. I mean, 8-step. Okay. This goes and takes over our pitch control. Just going to initiate my clock. Just get this to play through. So it's a little bit tied to the grid right now. Okay, so we've got a pattern going. And now we can just simply record our pattern. Okay, so I got enough. So now we can play it as audio. I think it starts here. Gonna remove that fade in. Make sure it's in time. we got a perfect little loop going, but we don't want to just create a loop. We don't have to stop there. But hopefully you understand the process of just being creative and creating your own sounds. It's really a powerful way to start songs as well as create ideas for new tracks. So as you can see, we've created a sound out of Reactor using Reactor blocks, using modular templates, modular blocks to build out our sound. And this was to showcase that we could make a West Coast style bass synth in Reactor or in our sound design tool of choice. The principles apply to all sound design tools. So yeah, that's the best thing about this, is that you can really use it in any kind of setting or any DAW. So this is the sound we got. And I can go ahead and add some percussion to it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to the main screen. And we can work in some percussion. So I'm gonna work in some probably snares first, or some kind of wood percussion. I'm just thinking of a pattern that we can use for this. I think something that'll get it moving. So we can mess around with that. So let's do this. So we're gonna repeat that. Yeah, what happened to my kick? All right. I'm not sure what happened to it. Oh. Okay, let's bring that forward. There we go. we don't want to start it off with that little hat pattern. Want to keep it out and let it build up a little bit. So let's do this. Okay, I'm just gonna mute this one out as well. Okay, I want a little bit of a snare sound to go with this, or something that sounds like it. So. Okay, so I want that pattern to repeat. Whoops. Okay, so it's on 1-3. Gonna bring that over here. Just fixing up the pattern. Because that hi-hat really adds a lot of movement. Try not to do that in the beginning. Then there's nothing to kind of build up to. So I'm going to actually subdue it a little bit and maybe add some eighth notes to fill that in. Or fourths, let's see. Okay, I want to continue that a little bit. Add some ghost notes here. No. There we go. actually want this part to be repeating. So there we go. We got a little bit of a loop going. There we go. So let's add some synth keys or some like plucky parts. So let's see what we can do. So we're gonna check what we do, how we're doing for time. I think we're doing pretty good. Let me check the key. Okay, make something that's a little bit groovy. Okay. Time that again. A little bit louder. Okay, so I think I got that. I'm gonna quantize that. I can hear. Oh, please don't freeze on me. Okay, good. So it's always good to save your work. So what was that? Okay. Okay, I see that. So I'm gonna try to come up with a little chord sequence. It might mimic this part, but let's do it. Okay, so I got some MIDI notes. So I'm going to try that on my piano section. Doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but just an experiment. Let's try something else. Oh, sorry about that. Let me turn on the volume, turn down the volume. Okay, let's test this part out. So hopefully you're able to learn something from the session and get an idea of how to design sounds. I was getting a little bit carried away in doing the production side, but hopefully you get the idea that you can take these sounds and really just use them in your production to create new sounds and give you inspiration to create a final product. So we went over building out that West Coast block and creating a little mini loop in Reactor in Ableton, using Ableton as our DAW. And hopefully you learned something from this session. If you want to dive deeper, be sure to check out my sound design course, link in the description, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out.